Unai, a defeat obviously not what you were looking for. What did you make of it?
Good evening. They showed their superiority in 90 minutes. I think the first 45 minutes we can hold well for the result and also defending together and also doing some counter attack with taking chances to be in the match. But after 2-1, the second half, they show the superiority. We cannot not defend very well, not attacking with having chances to get the box, and I think the result is clear.
Did their level go up in the second half, and did your level go down?
Yes, I think the level they hold the level in the 90 minutes, and our level in the second half is worse than the first.
When you talk about the level, do you mean tactically or also physically?
No, I think it's all. I think their positioning on the pitch, the first half, we can hold our lines being together and also defending well. Sometimes also we can do our transition, and when we are 2-1, I think we can be optimistic to take some action in attacking moment for us. But above all, in 90 minutes, in general, they show their superiority, and we want to play our moment. We want to play also being in the match every time. But the second half and the third goal, I think our mentality after is not keeping for to go against them and win the match.
Hey, tough day at the office, tough day at the office.
How convenient is that? Wow, how convenient is fucking that?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, it's a tough one at the office. Round of applause for everyone involved. Hey everybody, what's up? You know who it is. My name is Ken, aka the Petite Rodcastle. This is the Big Review Show brought to you by
New Weekly Canon.
Alright, so let's get into the mix. As everybody knows by now, we lost 3-1. It wasn't a great day at the office. Manchester City outplayed us. Simple as that. Let's actually kick into the lineups really fast. Let's see what we had going on here. So the lineup we started with, I really couldn't tell you in the beginning like what I was feeling. When I actually saw Lacazette and Aubameyang playing together, I was kind of encouraged, but then I was still kind of a little afraid because, like, you know, sometimes you have Aubameyang out on the wing and they're not playing as a top two. But if you looked at the lineup, it looked like we were going to play like a 3-4-1-2, right? Like with Iwobi in the hole, like behind Lacazette and Aubameyang, and then Torreira and Guendouzi, in the middle, Kolasinac and Lichtsteiner as wingbacks, and a back three of Mustafi, Koscielny, and Monreal. So I was a bit encouraged until I remembered that Lichtsteiner was 35 years old and was too slow to play in Italy, and we were probably going to get cooked down that side. And what ended up happening? What ended up happening was we got cooked down that side. By the end of the game, we ended up in a 4-4-2 with Kolasinac playing in front of Monreal. Lichtsteiner still on the right, getting cooked. All three of our goals, there's no coincidence, I think, that all three of our goals came down the right-hand side. You know, a lot of people have a lot of players they want to slate. A lot of people, you know, want to blame Iwobi. Iwobi, you know, admittedly, he didn't have a great game, but I think he's still in his early 20s, and that's kind of what you get from an early 20-year-old. Well, from someone in their early 20s, you're going to get a lot of up and downs. Aubameyang, I don't think he played great. He didn't get a lot of service. Lacazette really battled really hard. I think the big thing takeaway from this game is I'm not really sure Liechtensteiner's like just up to it, especially not in the big games. Like, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm not saying he hasn't had a great career, but he's in his mid-30s, and you're asking him to, like, you know, play up and down. And he got exposed a lot of times, right? Like, Raheem Sterling was constantly exposing him, and that's not really good. But yeah, let's kick over to our stats. So, you know, as you might expect when you're playing Manchester City, they had more possession. They had 59% possession to our 41%. They had a whopping 19 shots on goal. God damn, they had a whopping 19 shots on goal. That's a lot of shots on goal. They had 19 shots. They had 12 on goal. We had 4 shots and 2 on goal. 19 shots is a lot of shots, bro. That is a lot of shots. Moving on. They had 11 fouls. We had 8 fouls. They had 1 yellow card. We had 1 yellow card, no red cards. They had 5 offsides. That's how aggressive they were. They had 5 offsides. We had no offsides. They had 4 corner kicks. We had 2. Leno was standing on his head. He had 9 saves, and it looks like Emerson only had to make 1 save. So, yeah, it looks like Leno kind of kept us in this game, too. The score could have been uglier. It was 3-1. I predicted in the preview show that it was going to actually be 2-2. I felt really good about it being 2-2 when it was 2-1, but then Aguero with the handball made it 3-1, and I think that kind of just killed the game off because that was clearly a handball. VAR would have turned that over. VAR would have turned that over. Actually, I'm not sure VAR would have turned that over in England. Anywhere else, VAR would have turned that over. But every time I watch the Premier League, like every game I watch, it doesn't matter if it's an Arsenal game or another game, I'm not really confident in the Premier League referees. There isn't a coincidence, as one of the older members of our Chicago meetup says, there is not a coincidence that there were no English referees in the World Cup finals. So, yeah, that was the game. Wasn't really great. Let's kick over to what it actually means moving forward, right? So here's our league table at the end of this match week. And it's actually pretty surprising. Liverpool's still number 1. Man City's still number 2. Spurs is still number 3. But it looks like with Liverpool drawing and City winning, that point differential now is only 3 points. So I think we have a proper race back on. Spurs is still 5 back, but I don't think they have the goal differential to really catch up and do anything. Liverpool and Man City are just banging in way too many goals at this point to really be caught by Spurs. I just don't think Spurs has the firepower. Chelsea is actually up to 4th right now, which is kind of disappointing. And United's up to 5th right now. And here we are sitting in 6th. But silver lining, we have a better goal differential than United, and we're only a point behind. We're actually only 2 points behind Chelsea, too. So I really believe over the next couple of weeks, these standings between 4, 5, and 6, they're going to fluctuate a lot. Like, for example, next week Chelsea plays City, right? So, and we play Huddersfield Town. So, you know, let's say Chelsea loses to City and we beat Huddersfield Town, right? If we beat Huddersfield Town and Chelsea loses to City, we're level on points again. We're probably not going to catch Chelsea on goal differential next week because they banged in 5 against Huddersfield Town and we lost by 2. So they'll probably still be ahead of us on points. But like, you know, we'll catch Chelsea next week, hopefully, in terms of points. And, like, you know, Man United's really inconsistent. They lay, like, you know, they kind of lay eggs every now and then, and they don't really have the best of games. Like, they didn't have a great game against Leicester last week. If you look at their goals, then they should have beat Leicester last week, right? So let's actually check out what this means for our probabilities, brought to you by 538. So we still have about a 1 in 4 chance to win the league. It's still, well, not win the league, to make Champions League. It's still higher than United. That dropped last week. We went from 1 in 3 to about 1 in 4 now. We still have a slightly higher chance than United to make the top 4. Chelsea right now at odds are 50-50 to make the top 4. So we still have some ways to go. The good thing about this, just moving forward, is that we probably have one of the easier run-ins come March. So in March, we have 2 tough games. We have Tottenham the first week of March, and we have United the second week of March. And after that, we have one of the easier run-ins. We don't play a team in the top 6 after that. I think we only play 6 out of those 8 games remaining. 6 of them are versus teams in the bottom half of the league. So if we can get some momentum going, get healthy by then, we'll have a pretty good chance to string off a bunch of wins towards the end and kind of put some pressure on getting into that top 4. Chelsea and United, on the other hand, still have a couple of difficult games to play. Specifically next week, Chelsea has to play Man City. Man United still has to play Man City and Liverpool and Tottenham, I think. So they're going to have a pretty tough run-in. So anyway, this is a short one. I forgot to do our advanced statistics. I didn't forget to do them. They just really fucking suck. So yeah, it's been a tough one. Everybody keep your head up. Shout out to Tupac at the beginning of the show. Here we are. You know how we like to finish these things.
See you soon. Have a great evening, and don't forget, North London is red.
All right, come on, you Gunners, and round of applause for everyone involved. And we are out.
Come on, guys, subscribe right now.